Hey you guys, welcome to the video. Thank you so much for watching. Today I am sharing a clean and organize with me in my home office craft closet area. This is definitely one of my favorite closets I've made over in my house. It just always makes me so happy to look in here because it's so bright and pretty. Here's what it was looking like right now. It definitely isn't that bad, but I had just been kind of shoving things in here willy-nilly and not putting things where they belong for a little while. And usually just like once a year, I like to go through and reorganize and declutter anything in here. So I'm starting by pulling out pretty much anything inside the closet. I had a few containers that I specifically wanted to go through. One of them being this larger one here. I just keep tons of random miscellaneous craft supplies in here. So I'm just going through all of it. And my process is kind of like if I have been holding on to something for more than 2 years and haven't used it yet, it's time to get rid of it. Like, I'm not gonna use it. So that's kind of my decluttering strategy. And then I had this other container here that was mostly full of holiday related crafting supplies. So again, just going through and decluttering anything that I've been holding on to for more than 2 years. A lot of this stuff is things that I've picked up from the Dollar Tree. And basically I just sorted through everything. So just generic crafting supplies was in the gold bin, and then holiday related crafting supplies was in this clear and pink one. I had been storing a bunch of my yarn in with my ribbon, but I was getting annoyed because every time I wanted to get into my ribbon, I had to go under all of this yarn. So I wanted to put the yarn in its own container, and I got this really beautiful Victoria's Secret gift box. And so I thought it was perfect to put to use. It fit all of my yarn bundles perfectly. I also opened this little pink box. I wasn't sure what was in there, but it was a bunch of seashells. So I emptied those out, and I'm gonna move those to a different location in my house since they're more decor rather than crafting. And I am reorganizing a bunch of my little yarn tassel purse charms that I sell in my Etsy shop into this pink box. And after I got all of the yarn removed out of the container, it was time to go through all of my ribbon. I also needed to wrangle up a bunch of the spools. I like to use like the little sewing pins to hold them in place. I find that works much better than using a piece of tape. So I'm just going through and pinning a couple different spools and decluttering anything that I haven't used. I decided to switch the container for the ribbon since this is way bigger than necessary now. And I have this other kind of box that I pulled out of my closet that was housing a bunch of random camera equipment and electronic devices. So I decided to empty that out. I also had this large bin that was sitting in one of our spare bedrooms that had a bunch of electronic equipment in it, so I decided I can condense both of these containers down into this pink cube bin. And going through some of these old electronics, I found some ancient relics of a time long ago, including my little digital camera and my iPod. I don't think either of them work, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep them forever. This iPod was my pride and joy for a long time. Like I said, I don't think either of them work, but I like to keep them anyway. And I just had a bunch of like old phones and stuff in here and boxes from other electronics. So stuff that I didn't necessarily want to get rid of, but don't need on hand. So like I said, I condensed both of those bins down into this one, and I thought that was a pretty good use of space. So then I was able to put all of my ribbon in this other box after I had emptied it, and for the most part lined up really nicely, and I thought that was a really good place to put them. Next, I am sorting through a couple of other bins that I have a bunch of cups and other supplies that I use for my Etsy shop. Basically, I tried to condense as many cups as I could into one bin. And then I spent a little time wiping and dusting down my shelves before putting everything back in, and I kind of worked my way from the top down. Anything that I don't frequently grab for, I make a point to keep up on the top shelf. And then everything else, I definitely rearrange things a million times to figure out what is going to work best for the way I like to grab things. And after playing with the placement for a little bit, I decided I wanted to move one of these shelves, which is really nice about this closet system from IKEA. The shelves are all adjustable, so I can change them as needed. I think this is actually my first time I ended up moving them around. I had this bright pink tray that I wasn't currently using anywhere, and I thought it would look really nice on one of the main eye level shelves in here with some of my pens and pencils and markers and such that I like to reach for. I do like to use a lot of Bath & Body Works candle jars for organization and storage, so I grabbed one of them to use in here that kind of matched my vibe. I put a bunch of my gel pens in there, and then I have a couple other little containers from the Target dollar spot that I put a few different markers and whatnot in. This tiny little pink caddy is from the Dollar Tree. I love these things, and I use this one to house my glue gun and a bunch of glue sticks. I also restocked some of my glue sticks since I was running low on them. A couple of my bins in here were already labeled, but I knew I wanted to make a few more labels for some of the containers. So I am just cricketing a few more that match the ones that I already have. And I make sure I use the removable vinyl for when I label my containers, since I do switch things around quite frequently. Most of these containers, I know what's inside of them without having labels, but I think the labels just look aesthetically nice. And here's a look at a bunch of the stuff I ended up decluttering. I have a whole box of stuff that I've been gathering that I need to bring to donate. And now here is a look at my cleaned and organized craft closet. I'm definitely happy with how everything turned out. And like I said, I strategically place a lot of these different bins, so I am setting myself up for success on keeping things organized and putting things away when I'm done using them. Like I said, I specifically wanted this tray at eye level, easy to grab since these are things I use frequently. And any of the larger, more heavy bins, I also try to put at or below eye level, so when I pull them out, I don't actually have to take the whole thing out of the closet. I can just open them like a drawer, look inside, and see what I need to grab. The set of rolling Alex drawers that I have at the bottom were pretty well organized. I didn't need to go through anything in here, I felt like, but here's just kind of a look at a few of the drawers. Alright you guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully I was able to give you some crafting, organization ideas, or cleaning motivation. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below for more organization videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video.